What is going on, guys? Welcome to a new year. 2024 is officially here. My name is Wiz, and welcome to Wizland. If you never heard of my channel, heard of Wizland or myself, um, I'm an artist that is currently figuring out the process of creating a business behind my art. With that being said, I'm very much focusing on self-developing. I've been focusing on developing myself and trying and working towards reaching the better version of myself for the last 3 to 5 years. I can tell you that every year has been a different experience for me, and that's not just because of being a new year. It's been an experience of change. It's been an experience of dealing with different circumstances when it comes to family, when it comes to money, when it comes to business opportunities, and when it comes to my personal growth. The purpose of the channel and the purpose of this podcast is for anyone that is willing to put in the work. This podcast is for you. This is not necessarily an all men's channel. It's not necessarily just for people that create art. It's not necessarily only for people that are entrepreneurs and trying to build a business, or or just for people that are trying to become better. This is in general, in a general sense, if you're trying to develop yourself and trying to develop whatever area of life you're focusing on at the moment, this is something for you. Everything that I share on this podcast is personally because of me, like the things that I've been through, the experiences that I've been through. I'm I can tell myself and I can relate this to you guys. I've experienced a lot of things, good, bad things within the last 10 years that I do believe can benefit someone growing up. And probably if you're trying to find who you are, I'm pretty sure that I can bring some value to you. I'm in that same journey, and I don't believe that I will ever reach that full potential that I'm seeking. But I do believe that there is power and there is value when you can find someone on the internet or in your life that can, I guess, guide you in a sense where when it comes to your money, your finances, when it comes to your fitness, when it comes to you dealing with relationships. I know for myself, me being the older brother on my end, and in my life for the most part, I always had to be the one that figures shit out. I couldn't rely on anyone to be honest, because I was the first, and if you're the older or the eldest in your family, eldest of how many ever siblings you might have, or you're the first person in your family, first gen, you do go through a lot of trial and error. It was something that I have had to go through. As I've gotten older, I've become to realize that that is just part of life. Sometimes our parents, sometimes the people around us are just trying their best, and that best is based on the judgment that they have. Sometimes they might try their best and fail, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that that's what they thought was their best. So without even going more in depth with that, I wanted to talk about the concept of a new year. I know it is a very cliche saying, and more so in the self development, where everybody thinks that because of a new year, there will be someone new. And I mean, in reality, there is an opportunity for us to improve, to become different, to challenge ourselves with new challenges. Um, there is that opportunity, obviously. The older I get, the more I become to realize the reality that just because the number on a year changes, it doesn't necessarily mean that we automatically change. It doesn't mean that. Today is the first podcast that I realized it's not the first podcast. I mean, I I try to work on a podcast within the last couple of years that I called it starting from zero, Watch the Throne. But I realized that I was half-assing it. So with this project, Wizland, I do believe that uh, this is where I want to share with you guys. This concept is the concept that I will fulfill this year, because I do believe that uh, there is like a bridge from point A to B. I do have all these thoughts. I have all these ideas, but in reality, they're only ideas. They have not become concrete reality because I have not acted upon them. I'm not consistent with them. And this year, I told myself that regardless of what happens, it's on me to make it happen. It's not about I don't know what to do. And this is something I've related to my girlfriend, that it's not a concept that it's not about not knowing what to do. I know what to do. I know how to do it. The only thing that I'm missing is doing it. And for most of us, if we come to realize and look ourselves in the mirror, we do know what to do. Why we don't do it, I believe that that's everyone's own struggle. We might believe that we don't have enough time. We might believe that for whatever reason we don't have maybe the ideas or the capabilities of following through with what we're saying we're doing. We might want some type of support. We might get distracted by a lot of different things. But in reality, it comes down to how bad we want it. It's like, how bad do you want it, and are you willing to stop and prioritize whatever it is that you say you want? And that's something that I came to realize um, within the last couple of years. I do believe that when you just like settle yourself in, meaning when you really clarify what is it, where you're at, what is it that you want, where you currently at in your current life, meaning age, meaning reality where you live, meaning the people around you, and you understand that maybe at this very moment you're not happy because you're not where you need to be or where you want to be. That is the start of change. That is the start of you understanding that maybe the only person that can do something about it is yourself. To some of us, and I do believe that everyone has a point in life where they realize these things. For me, it came a real thing maybe in the last 3 to 5 years. It's been a struggle for me because I have I've always had this thing inside of me. I mean, of me wanting big things, to me wanting to become successful and things of that nature, but it's never been as clear as how I was going to get that until now. I always had those aspirations, ever since I was a young kid. I always saw myself scoring a goal, a soccer goal, and having a whole fan base rooting for me, saying my name, and getting paid really good and handsomely for that. But to be honest, I mean, those things didn't happen, and it didn't happen because I couldn't do it. It happened because I was lazy. As I've gotten older, I've become more real with myself. I've become more direct with myself. And if anything that you take from today's message and today's podcast is become direct with yourself. Be direct, be real. Don't lie to yourself. If you don't like how you look and you can do something about it, do it. And be truthful about it. Tell yourself, be real with yourself. There's a reason that certain things now in our society are getting, I guess, pushed. There's certain agendas that are getting pushed. I believe that for us, just in general, there's a lot of people that kind of trying to put little band-aids on real problems instead of trying to fix the actual problem. And that's what I tell you guys. I mean, for me, it's been a process of me finding myself with certain things. I had to come to realize uh, that I was the issue in relationships. Um, I've been fortunate enough to have good relationships, and honestly, I've been the one fucking it up. And when I became honest about that, and I realized those things, that's what kind of made me change in a way. Made me realize that life is difficult. It's not perfect. You cannot be perfect. But I do believe that as long as you realize your faults, as long as you realize that at the end of the day, you are in control of your life, that's all that matters. So this year, I hope you make it a year when you take accountability and understand that if you want certain things, if you want change in your life in whatever realm you want change in, that could be relationships, that could be in your money making abilities, that can be in your own personal looks, whatever it might be, man, like your health, whatever it is, right? It's on you. You cannot expect anyone to come and force you to do it, to make the change. For the longest, I always believed that I needed to wait for someone's permission, and it's a reality thing. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I was raised, like I said, I'm the oldest, so I come from a single parent household, uh, and for me, I always felt like I needed some type of encouragement, and that someone was gonna eventually come and tell me and show me how to do things. And yeah, my mom, she was great. She was able to show me certain things, but as a man, you have to take it on yourself, and that's the thing. Nobody tells you. Nobody tells you how to do things. It's on you to learn how to do things. And the only way you can learn how to do things is by trying to do them. You cannot wait on anyone to tell you how to do things. And that was my kind of mistake. Maybe not mistake, but that was my me being naive about the whole concept of what it is to become a man. At some point, once you're at a certain age, it's on you, regardless of how old you are. If you're listening to this right now, I mean, take accountability. It doesn't matter your age. Your age doesn't mean nothing. And that was one of my biggest mistakes, that I believe that once I hit a particular age, I was going to feel a particular way, and I was gonna, like, with the snap of my fingers, just change my whole situation. And it does not happen that way. That's one of the biggest misconceptions that we have. Nobody's gonna come and save us. Nobody will. If at some point you fuck up, you're gonna have to pay for that fuck up. And it might be a mistake because you've never been aware of how things work. But it's nobody's fault but yourself, you know. And that's one of the main things that we have to understand going into a new year. That if we want change, we can attain it, but it's on us to change it. It's not about just following a meme online. It's not about following pages that are about motivation. It's not about us trying to copy anyone. It's not about that. If you honestly feel it inside of you that you can do better, that you can become better, that you can make change and create change in your life, it's just a matter of you taking a step at a time. And that's the same concept I'm taking this year, and I've been taking it for the last 2 3 years. It's about taking one step at a time. It's about you becoming better than the day before. It's about you trying your best every fucking day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what's going on. It's about you being able to consistently be there and be present in your own life. One of the biggest movies that I enjoy watching is Click. I literally watch Click at least once a year. Click by Adam Sandler. I honestly grew up watching Adam Sandler. All his movies to me are pretty funny. The main ones per se, Waterboy, Billy Madison, even Big. I love Big Daddy. Like I love it because it's one of his movies where, like, for me, growing up without a father, I could relate a lot to that movie, and it was just pretty cool to me. But this movie Click, if you've never seen it, I definitely recommend it because it will give you perspective without you having to go through that. And I do believe that a lot of people live that life where we're trying to go through the boring shit, we're trying to skip the boring shit, we're trying to like skip life without really understanding that that is what makes life. We have to learn how to go through the boring stuff. We have to learn how to go and live in the present without expecting the future, without looking so much in the future. We have to be able to live in the moment. We have to learn how to do that. There's no future, there's no present. I do believe that there's no past nor future. The only thing that really matters is the present. And trust me, guys, like that had to be a big realization for me within the last couple of years. Like I was always saying, I'ma do this or I'ma be this person in the future. But there's no way you can get to that future if you're not focused in the present and really put in everything you have in this very moment. All that matters is what you're doing at this very moment. So keep that in mind going into this year. I know a lot of people are hyped up. I know a lot of people are excited about the new year, and I hope you stay excited the same way. Uh, I've started 75 Hard. 75 Hard, if you never heard of it, is a program. It is a lifestyle. I do believe that it was created with good intentions. The creator, Andy Frisella, I definitely feel that this is one of the guys that I've learned a lot from. That I do believe that is giving the good shit out for free. Like if you never heard of him, dive into his content. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a lot of value for it from it. And this is something that I definitely believe that it does not matter who you are, where you're at, where you live, where your current status is, financially, physically, mentally, whatever it is, right? As long as you have good intentions and you want the best for yourself and the people around you, you can do it. You can make it happen. So I hope today's podcast brought something out of you in a sense where you can think about it, man. Like I think that we are all in this fucking journey of what life is. Uh, we're 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 not here with a guide. We're not trying to follow a guide. There's no guide for life. So that's why I decided to make this podcast because in my personal life, in my different jobs, and me trying to create a business, I deal with people every fucking day, and I'm pretty sure you deal with people every fucking day. If you're not trying to make interactions better, if you're the person that is trying to destroy shit, you're not trying to build nothing. I do feel that that's what that might be the reason why you might not be happy. For me, I'm a very grateful person, and I will go ahead and share in the future things that I've kind of am focusing on. More than likely on the next podcast. What I'm gonna talk about is things that I'm focusing on this year um, on the topics because I do feel that it's not about just goals. Goals are I don't believe in goals where you're making goals without thought because I feel like a lot of people just make goals without real deep thought into them, and that's why they don't get fulfilled. For me, it's more of a deeper sense to it. There's different layers of why I have certain goals, and I'm pretty aware of why I'm trying to reach those goals. And this year for me is YouTube. YouTube is a great opportunity for anyone willing to take it. It's a big risk because you're putting yourself out there. But for me this year, I told myself, you've been doing this for a while. You know what to do. The biggest issue with me was literally talking to the camera, and I've known that I've gotten way better since the beginning. I've gotten better with my thoughts. I do feel that I do have a message that I can share with people coming behind me, man. Like we have a young generation out here that is just all into social media, and that's perfectly fine. But I do feel that because every generation is different, I do feel that I am aware of how we can live a life with technology and also a life without it. And I feel that because of that, I'm able to detach from it. But I do see that there's a big group of people that want to become better, and I feel that I can definitely add something to it. This is from an artist's perspective. I'm not only one of those. I'm not a guy that is like all in your fucking face. I'm not one of those guys that is rah 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 rah. I'm not like any of those guys. I'm a laid back dude. I'm an artist. Um, I know how to do a lot of shit. Um, I'm the type of guy that will step up for what is right, and I do it in my own way, And I think I do feel that as long as you're comfortable with who you are, and you're doing the right thing, and you've been through shit, and you're willing to relate that information to people that might not be aware of that, I think good things will happen to you. So, regardless to say, guys, I appreciate for you stopping by. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you subscribe. Hopefully we can grow together. Hopefully we can create something real out here because it's about community, man. Like it's good, and that's one of the things that I had to change in the last couple of years because I've always been the lone wolf, and at this point, I'm like, man, like I have so much shit, and I'm not gonna be able to share it if I don't put it out there, and nobody's gonna benefit from it if I don't put it out there. So this year's gonna be this year's gonna be the start and the beginning of Wizland for sure, and I hope you guys stay and follow the journey, and we can go together. See you on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.